Hello, welcome back to Ken O'Connor Racing. My name's Ken O'Connor. This is my good buddy Joe, also known as R. Now, when it comes to blasters, if you can break it, this is the guy that's going to do it. He took my wife's Max Dizzy exact replica motor that's been running for 3 years and managed to blow it up and burn a hole through the piston in less than a half of an hour. The man felt terrible. Who can blame him? After I got done yelling at him, I could barely talk anymore. So I got done crying. We put him in the truck and brought him back here to the shop. And I said, let's see if we can figure this out. It's going to be a short video of what can go wrong and how not to get excited about things, because this bike will be ridden tomorrow. It'll be broken in inside the next 2 hours, and I'm going to show you how we're going to fix it real quick. Okay, the problem here is pretty obvious. This is a hole in the top of a piston. This bike developed a serious air leak. It could have also been jetting. It's a little bit colder up here than this bike is jetted for, and I opted not to do any jetting today. So this is the problem. What's more important than the problem is why did it happen, okay? You have to find out what happened. So we started doing a little research. What looks funny about this gasket, see how it's sucked in? I don't know the manufacturer's name. If you've seen these, I'm not going to say names because I'm really not sure, but these green gaskets with this little thing of silicone on the outside, this gasket sucked in under the brutal attack of Ark's thumb on the throttle, made enough pressure to suck this gasket in. The first time I saw this is not the first time I saw it, but the first time I said, that's pretty unlikely unless something's bent. I've had this motor for years. I built it 3 years ago, and I personally cut the bottom of this cylinder, and I know for a fact that it's flat and it has never been over-torqued. It's never been out of my sight. This gasket moved in. Alright, like I said, we're going to show you how to fix it. Unfortunately, this is 0.25 millimeters over, or 10 over. I don't have that piston in here, but I do have pistons in here. We're going to go ahead and bore this cylinder. I'm going to put a new piston in it. Now's the time to do it. Maybe if I keep off of it, I can get 3 more years out of it. So we've got this set up in our proprietary jig. We made this 2-bore blasters. I got it all set up in my lathe, and there's a dial indicator on it. I can zoom in on that. I'm going to have Joe turn the cylinder. As you can see, that needle is running almost perfect. What it's moving, I'm not even worried about. It's moving probably a half a thousandths. Take your hair and split it 6 times. That's about how much it's moving. So now I'm going to let Ark bore the cylinder. I mean, you know, he blew it up, so he might as well fix it for me. So we're going to teach Ark how to bore a cylinder. This ought to be very interesting. Alright, we got a new piston here. What I did is went ahead, took the 2 to 3 micrometer, measured it right here at the skirt. I'm going to run 3 thousandths clearance on this bike, so we just dialed it out, opened the micrometer up 3 thousandths, took my dial bore gauge, take this, come in, set it, get it right to 0. Now I got a gauge to bore the cylinder, so we're ready to let Ark try not to break my lathe. Alright, now I got my buddy Ark here on the lathe, and he's going to take the first cut here, so he's just going to turn that dial a little bit. That's about right there, yes sir. Get the engine started. Go to clutch. This is the clutch. Up. Now take that handle and just bring it straight up. Now what's going to happen is you can see this thing starting to turn. Dude, you burned a cylinder. How do you feel? I did it at the right place. We can fix it here. And as this starts moving in, I'm going to start cutting some steel. Here we go. And that's it. It's going to take about 20 minutes to get through this cylinder. 15-20 minutes. But I'll let you know. I'll come back and let you know if anybody cuts their fingers off here. Go set up. Got the safety glasses on? Got them. Okay, so Ark has successfully bored the cylinder, so he's going to go ahead and throw the bore gauge in there. What we're looking for is about 3 thousandths more to go, so about 3 thousandths smaller than what we want, and he bored this thing dead nuts right on the money. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the cylinder out of the lathe, and we're going to chamfer the ports, and then we're going to go ahead and home. Okay, this is the part we're going to chamfer the ports. Just using a bluestone here, and The reason I'm doing this now is if I slip, I probably won't, but if I do, my hone is going to get rid of any marks or any imperfections from that little slip. So I like to do this before I hone it. And the angle on this is far greater than what I'm going to be taking off of this with the hone, so I'm still going to have a chamfer inside of the port. And that, my friends, is perfectly chamfered quartz. No headache. Alright, there was a little discussion about polishing exhaust ports, and you know, I stated that I did it because it reduced the buildup, it prevented carbon, in most cases, from building up. This cylinder, the only oil that it's ever seen, this is 3 years old, remember, I just took this thing off. The only oil that this has ever seen is Motul and Maxima Super M. And if I take my little pointer in here and scratch it, see that? That's aluminum. This is a polished cylinder. There's no carbon inside of this port. Nothing. After 3 years, no rings, nothing. Nothing's been changed in this engine for 3 years. And I'm sure I'm not gonna. I'm sure I could get in here and polish this thing, but I got a lot of people coming tomorrow, and I just want to get this thing done. But a little bit of wiping, we're right back down to bare aluminum. Video of Off's first bore job.
You guys want
see how we did.
Yeah. Walk in.